Hey Leo, Mariah here. It's such a pleasure, honor, and a privilege to be back, to be reading for you again. I'm sorry for my long departure from my channel. I've been sick. If you see my posts, I fall sick very easily. My immune system is not the best. I don't like being that transparent, but it's not. And it takes me forever to really recover from things. So I've been down and out for a little bit, but now I'm back up. So I hope all of you guys are okay. I hope all of you are well. Let's get into your messages and see what Spirit needs you to know, what Spirit wants you to know, what's the most important messages for my Leos. I know it's been a very tough period for you guys astrologically, especially with these transits, you being a fixed sign. It feels things have been very difficult. Yeah. Sorry for being a little emotional. Sorry for being a little emotional here. We got change that came out on the bottom of the deck. And death right underneath that. And I'll show you. We got change and death. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement and death. I am learning that endings are nearly beginnings, and we have fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love and courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Very beautiful energy, Leo. But it's a tough energy. I'm sorry, I'm emotional. Listen, I ain't coming. I know I wasn't going for this long to get on this camera and start getting like emotional with y'all. I promise you, I'm not trying to set the vibes that way. But if we're going to be very clear about this energy here, Leo, I mean, listen up. Especially with this fear of change and death. Really listen up. Through any and all adversity and challenges and difficulties, change, endings, things that are not working out, that's not in your favor, that's not meant to be in your favor, that was only meant to be in your life for a season, things that are just not happening for you. It's like, I know we resort to Capricorn as the mountain goat, and always having to climb up these challenges. I mean, not challenges, climb up these mountains and deal with these challenges and hurdles, to get to the top. But that's what this is feeling like, Leo. You're dealing with, and it doesn't matter in what area of life this pertains to, you're dealing with a mountain that just feels difficult, that you feel like you keep climbing up. There's also too, and that as a side message, because I was hearing, and I mentioned this once before a long time ago, I don't remember when, but I heard immediately death doula. So somebody may be dealing with currently maybe the physical death of somebody transitioning or passing, and of course side message there, but in a broader perspective, this is a death that you're going through, Leo, and it's not comfortable. You ever felt I just feel so vulnerable right now reading for you. You ever felt, just whether it's psychologically, emotionally, mentally, buried alive? That's what this feels like. And I know, like I said, I didn't want to come back on here with this kind of heavy energy, but that's just, maybe it's because I've been gone for so long and now getting back into it, the energy is really heavy. But that's what this feels like, Leo, being buried alive, but like psychologically. Feeling like you're, I don't know if this is in a specific area, multiple areas of life, or just even a spiritual death, an ego death, an internal transformation, because the way the path has been paved for you and the way you've been going, it's like, okay, that road is now closed off. You have to now reroute and course correct onto a new track. You're being shifted into a new direction, a new way, but it's causing some form of internalization conflict, some internal conflict, because you're having to deal with the path that you've been walking on, what you've already been ingrained or indoctrined into believing, your ideologies, beliefs, perspectives, or what circumstances you've gotten used to, maybe the person that you wanted, the situation that you wanted, the outcomes that you wanted. You know how this pertains to you. But in your own internalized ideologies or beliefs when it comes to this, or what you're driving after, that road is now saying closed road, and you're being redirected onto a new course and path. And it just feels like, when can I can catch a break? When can I catch a break? When can I just fucking catch a break? You know? And I'm just, if we can have a moment of transparency, right? Because that's what I'm here for. I can tell you all of the spiritual, all the stuff of, it's for your highest purpose, the highest conscious evolution, and awake. I can tell you all that. And don't get me wrong, those things can be true, but two things can be true at the same time. Yes, things happen for us in that moment. We don't understand why it's happening, but in hindsight, we understand why it has to happen. But on the flip side, just as human me to you, sometimes life is so fucking unfair. Sometimes situations is so unfair. Sometimes circumstances is just so unfair. And I'm not saying that to say take on a victim mentality or pity mentality. It's just looking at, we calling a spade, right? Looking at it for what it is. But courage is here. So whatever this fear you're dealing with, Leo, this fear, Ten of Wands in the reverse, something's coming to an ending, or you're going to have to let something go. Something's changing, but it feels alive. It strongly feels internal, and for some of you it's also external too. Something, that road is closed. It's not opening up for you. You gotta let it go. You gotta, do not pass go, do not collect 200. It's time for you to really, if you can, you're I don't want to say you're being tested, because this doesn't feel like necessarily a test. And here go the world and the chariot and the star. I don't need to pull a single card outside of that. But then you right underneath that star, the sun in the reverse. I would never ask you, and I would never suggest to you, Leo, something that I wouldn't be able to do personally, that would be out of, that would be something that's unachievable or that's impossible. I would never ask you to do. I think that's unfair, and I don't think that's right. But if I'm looking at a Ten of Wands in the reverse, the World upright, the Chariot in the reverse, the Star upright, and then the Sun in the reverse underneath that, and even for if I'm just gonna go there, the Knight of Wands in the reverse, this really talks about needing to have courage, but that lion that's inside of you may be dealing with a bit of, and I don't want to say cowardness, but it reminds me of that person that is shaking in their boots, knowing that they have to do something, not show. And this is a side of you that's the deepest internal part of you. This isn't something you show other people. Nobody knows about this. Heck, you probably don't even like to admit this to yourself. But that part inside of you is there. That little girl, that little boy, that still resides within you psychologically, mentally, because your child version of you never leaves you. It's always with you, right? Just on the outside, you always age and you develop and you grow, but that child is still within you. That child right now, which likes to hold on to its comfortability, its comfort zone, things that make that child feel safe, right, and secure. And this is why a lot of times that inner child will have our adult self go into certain patterns and behaviors or operate out of certain functions because it's comfortable for us, right? Psychologically and how we're neurologically wired, we have a baseline of comfortability that we tend to revert back to when we move into new territory that feels unknown, that feels uncertain. We always go back, and this is why a lot of people, when it comes to moving out of their comfort zone and having to really release and make change, they tend to fail at it because once they take those steps forward, they revert back because we like to be in our comfort zone, and it's that inner child that likes to. But when I'm looking at this, Leo, the star is here. You can't fail, and there's a fear of failing. There's a fear of not getting what you want. There's a fear of even if you're not looking for something on the other side of whatever this is, even if it's just the fact of, okay, I gotta let that person go, or I got to let this opportunity go, or I got to let these people go, or I need to restructure certain things or rearrange the infrastructure in my life to create certain outcomes for myself. But by doing so, I have to let certain things go. It's the letting go, the releasing part, the realizing that what you've been doing or something you've been doing or how you've been treading your waters has not been working or is not working or does not have the potential to work. But with that death and that change here, it almost feels like, again, being buried alive, because I go back to saying, and not to put you in a victim mentality, because that's not what I'm trying to do here, but it's going back to saying, life is not fair. Why fucking me? And again, astrologically, you are a fixed sign. I know you guys have been having it hard for the past couple of years, but this season is very difficult for you. Very difficult. I won't take that from you. I personally, I have no Leo on my chart. I personally would not want to be a Leo right now, even though I would love to be a Leo. And the reason why I say that is because you guys are dealing with a lot that a lot of people don't understand mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and even on top of that, externally. It's like you try to clear up space and you try to move things around so you could tread forward, and then here comes some more boulders and rocks being thrown upon your path, and it's like, and those boulders and rocks can look, mental conflicts, emotional conflicts, psychological conflicts, physical conflicts, whatever it may be. But there's a new chance to walk through a new path, and it's asking you to have that courage. It's asking you. And I feel like, Leo, I'm not telling you something that you don't know. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm telling you anything you don't know. Just sometimes I think we need the motivation, and sometimes I think we need somebody to say, I understand you. It's okay. Because you're always looked at as the strong one and the reliable one. You're always looked at the one to have the courage and be bold and go out and get things done, because that's how you carry yourself with pride, right? Because you believe in yourself. Even at times when you feel like that faith wavers, deep inside you believe in yourself that you can persevere past any obstacle. But on the flip side, you are still human. And you still struggle. And sometimes we just need, and that's what I feel like this reading was about more than anything. And I'm sorry for getting emotional, but I believe this reading for you, Leo, just to have somebody to tell you it's okay. That this is a very difficult period that you're going through. That specific area in life or circumstance or whatever is happening in your life is not working out. And that's okay to feel frustrated, and that's okay to feel like you have fear, and that's okay to feel anxious or to feel stressed or to feel worried or to feel concerned or to feel like you're on unstable ground and to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to understand that you are going through the changes, but it's not okay to just sit in that, and you know that. But it's okay to feel validated, to have your feelings validated, to have your situations understood, to have somebody really understand that I get you, Leo. I see you. I see your circumstances. And no, it's not easy. That's not an easy position to be in. But also to have somebody say, but you can't stay in that energy for long. You can't stay in that energy for long. There's one, and I'm going to leave this here, because whatever this is, because it's a star. So star is very broad in context, right? It's not like it's the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups. It's not like it's the 4 of Wands or, certain cards, the 6 of Swords, where it's more indicative or specific of what's happening. It's a star. So it's your star, your hope, your vision, your belief, your ideologies for the future. What is it that you're dreaming of, hoping for, wanting, wishing for? What is it that you're trying to achieve in greater mass? That's the star, and that's going to be, the variable will differ between all of you on what this star equates to. So I can't really tell you what it is, right? But I will say this, there's a really nice quote that, and I might misquote her, that Beyonce said years ago, and I guess she was talking about how she deals with pain, when she goes through things, and she mentioned that, and it's Virgo season now, thinking of it, but she mentioned that, she gives herself a day to really go through the feelings and process it and really work through her emotions. But the next day, it has to go. Next day, she's back up, moving and running. Is that the healthiest to do it in that kind of context? No, not necessarily. Give yourself some more time, Leo, but understand how you feel right now is validated by me. I'm validating how you feel. I understand that you have fear, and I understand that this feels like, again, some form of internalized death, or you may be going through a physical death of somebody that you're dealing with. Or your life circumstances are changing and it feels outside of your control, like an actual death. But these changes they're repositioning you to place you in a better space in life. And we have to shed the old layers to gain new. You can't gain new with the old skin still on you. And that shedding process, they don't tell you how painful that is, right? They say, oh yeah, move into the new and you're evolving. And listen, I'm gonna have to go live and just have a little chat with y'all, because there's some things I definitely got to get off my chest about the spiritual community. But that's another time. But shed the old skin. It's painful. It's brutal. It's uncomfortable. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't make it sweet. But I can tell you, if you can have the courage to endure and find healthy ways to help you process through this time of change, healthy ways, okay? The star, you're not too far from the course that you're trying to tread to get to where you want to be. So Leo, I love you. I'm going to leave this here. I didn't mean to get emotional. I just miss you all. The energy is very potent. Maybe that's because I've been away for so long. But I love you, Leo. Please be safe. Take care. Take care of yourself. I'm here for you, if anything, if ever, when you need me. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long, but I'm back and I want to stay, and I am going to stay, and I'm not going nowhere. So I love you. Bye.